Let's look at the tar command in Linux. Tar stands for tape archives. This command helps us to create archives of compressed files and folders for backup. The syntax for the command is tar followed by options, followed by the name of the archive file, followed by the list of files and folders that we want to add to the archive. The current directory has got two image files and a subdirectory called docs. The docs subdirectory has two files. Let's use the tar command to uh, archive the docs subdirectory. The syntax would be -c to create an archive, and to see the command output, which is the list of files that are processed by the command, we add the -v for verbose output and -z to specify the compression algorithm. In this case, it is the gzip compression algorithm with the -z option. We specify the name of the archive file with -f. We are compressing the docs folder, so docs.tar.gc. .tar to represent the tar command and .gc to reflect the gzip compression algorithm. Now, we can specify the -f option along with the other options without the hyphen. It works both ways on Linux. And finally, we specify the directory that we want to add to that uh, archive. And we run the command and it gives us the list of directories and files that have been processed. And the archive file docs.tar.gc is created. Let's examine the contents of that archive. We do that using the -t option, and we specify the archive file, and we get a listing of that .gc file. That's compressing a folder using the gzip algorithm. There is one more algorithm called the BC2 algorithm, and that's specified using the -j option. And we can change the name of the file, archive file, to BC2 if we want. It's better to reflect that in the name of the file. And we create that, and we get another archive with the .bc2 extension. The the BC2 compression algorithm is uh, supposed to yield an archive file with a smaller size compared to the uh, gzip compression algorithm. But the BC2 algorithm is more CPU intensive. And we can see that the .bc2 file is comparatively smaller than the .gc file. That's creating an archive from a folder. Let's extract the archive to a particular location called extracted. We extract an archive using the -x for extract, v for verbose, and -z for the compression algorithm, and -f to specify which compression algorithm. And here we are extracting the .gc archive, and we specify the location to extract to using the -C option, and we specify the extracted folder, and it gives us the output, the list of folders and files that have been extracted. And if we look at the extracted folder, we can see that the docs directory with its two files have been extracted. Now, that's compressing and extracting a folder using the tar command. We can do the same for the two image files. So to compress them, we specify -c, v for verbose, z for the gzip compression, -f. Let's name that archive pix.tar.gc. And there are two image files. We can specify them one after the other, and we run the command. Now let's look at the contents of that archive using the -t option, and we specify the archive file. So that's the two image files in an archive. We can extract the same into the uh, extracted folder. So that's tar followed by -x, v, and z for the compression algorithm, and we specify the archive file using pix -f option followed by pix.tar.gc followed by -c for the target location, and we specify the extracted folder. And the two files have been image files have been extracted to that particular folder. So that's compressing multiple files using tar and extracting them to a particular location. We can also exclude files from the compression. We do that using the -- exclude option. So let's create an archive for the current directory. So that would be tar followed by -c. To create it, v for verbose and z for gzip compression. And we specify the archive file, and let's say that it is data.tar.gc, and that's the name of the file, and followed by the exclude option. Now the exclude option takes patterns, and we can repeat this exclude option as many times as we want for as many files that or folders that we want excluded. So here we specify the pattern to ignore all the .jpg files, and the directory to compress is the current directory. So let's run that. Notice that the list of files that have been processed by the tar command in this case does not include the .jpg files. We can also exclude the tar files. We don't need one archive inside the other one. Let's say that we want to exclude that also. So we can remove that using another pattern to match those files, and we run them and we get the list of files that have been processed. Notice that uh, the JPEG files, .jpg files in the current directory and in the extracted directory have not been added to the archive. Now let's look at the archive using the -t option, and the archive is in /tmp, and we can see that the archive has been created. So that's the tar command to compress files and folders and extract them to a particular location, and also to exclude certain files or folders that match a particular pattern. That's it.